trying to communicate with the team and work with the crew over here in Max Pub. And Max Pub Staten Island, it's actually the center of the media universe right now. And right now, it's the interim home of Liquid Lunch TV. I'm broadcasting from Max Pub. My good buddy, activist Scott Lebedo's right here behind us. We're doing a lot of planning because the sheriff and the mayor here in New York City and the governor in New York State, they just not cooperate. And I don't think they understand how people operate in Staten Island. Okay, we ain't some Upper East Side limousine liberals over here. Okay, we're trying to be people, and these guys have been trying to be people for a long time. But when this governor wants to come out and start declaring these fake orange zones don't exist. And to me and to the people here, they don't exist. We don't recognize orange zones. Orange is nothing. Orange is the new black. It's a great show, supposedly. Okay? And if you look at the Staten Island map and you go overlay Donald Trump's votes in Staten Island, the whole orange zone is Trump country. And it's just not a coincidence, in my view, that Cuomo wanted to stick one to us and say, hey, orange people, you're with the orange man, right? Now you're in orange zone. Okay, we're orange man and orange zone. We don't lay down. Okay, and this is not about one restaurant, and this is not about one person or a group of people. This is about government overreach. This is about tyranny. This is about draconian rules that are arbitrary and capricious. And what they're trying to do right now is steal businesses. And if they can't straight steal it from you, if they come to your house to rob your house, right? And they keep beating you up, saying, "Give me the money, give me the money, give me the money," and you don't give them the money, you know what they do? They put a pillow over your face and suffocate you till you're dead, and then they ransack the house until they find the money. So Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio, Warren Wilhelm here in New York, their plan is, let's kill the rich, let's kill the middle class, let's compress everybody into one peasant class, let's take away all the small business. Because you know what? I don't know if you noticed, we're on Biz TV. We own 40 million homes around the country. 80% of our audience identifies as business owners or entrepreneurs, okay? And 80% of the people who are employed in America are employed by businesses under $50 million in revenue. So small businesses are the employment engine of our country. You know, I was talking to my good friend Janet from Juliana's. Chandelle Summers from? Okay, let's bring her in. I did not realize that. Okay, we're joined right now. Mike, we're joined right now by Chandelle Summers. Hello, Chandelle. How are you? I'm sorry, I didn't know you were in.
That's okay. That's okay. It's Chandelle, but that's okay.
Chandelle. Oh,
yes.
All right. I got that on the fly. What?
I'm sorry? Start video right there. Is that better?
There you are. Hello.
Hello.
All right. So me and my friends are here in Staten Island, New York. I don't
Wish
know.
I was there too.
I don't know if you're seeing all the stuff that's going on the news, but you know, they've made some draconian, arbitrary, and capricious zoning regulations that because of COVID, they deemed half of Staten Island an orange zone, and in an orange zone, there's no indoor dining allowed. And now small businesses who have already been pushed to the brink over the last 6 to 9 months, they're just saying, hey, I'm going to open and I'm going to serve food. And if people want to come in, I got to feed my family. And the other night, the owner actually got arrested for that. So
yes, I saw that on the news. And I have to admit, I'm a person who hasn't really followed the rules with regard to restaurants and bars and things like that during COVID. I'm a big masker, but I kind of just can't live without going to restaurants and bars, apparently, because no matter what there is.
I got my mask when I have to have it. I don't know if masks, but I think they're even crazy. But, you know.
It's a little arbitrary. I agree with you in that, you know, you can have close contact with people in places other than restaurants and bars. So I don't see what the difference is. I've always thought it was a little weird that you could walk around the bar, wear a mask, and then sit down, take your mask off, and automatically you have some immunity from the COVID.
Yeah, and I know we had other things to talk about today, but
Sure.
I know you're an attorney, and I would like to get your perspectives on this when you talk about a word like arbitrary. Um,
Yes.
I've been on a couple of flights recently, where people are sitting literally next to each other, 150, 200 people. So, the reason is because they don't want to see part of the industrial complex go down, the airlines. So they stretch the rules. But it seems like they don't care about the little guy. And just 2 blocks from here is a yellow zone. So if you
What does
drive
yellow zone mean? What
Oh,
does
you can
that
have
mean?
indoor dining in a yellow zone. So
Okay.
you drive 2 blocks and you can have a steak and sit at a table with your family. So
Right.
it starts to get to a point where it is arbitrary and I'm not an attorney, but I love the word capricious.
Sure.
It's like where does the COVID stop at 2 blocks from here? And then
Right.
like what's really happening? What's really happening?
And your analogy with the airlines is a good one, because I was on an airline the other day and they handed me my plastic bag filled with Cheetos and water and things like that. And of course, I take my mask off to eat on the airplane, sitting next to a guy who's coughing. And I was kind of like, God, I should probably stop eating and, put my mask back on at least. But it is very arbitrary. And the whole thing is arbitrary. I mean, the whole idea of like you can go out and protest and you can scream and yell, but you can't go to a party and scream and yell, or you can't go to a football game and scream and yell. So it is all very capricious and it is arbitrary. And I think there's a lot of support for the individual in Staten Island. Now, I live in Georgia, the center of the political universe right now.
Yeah, right. We're in ground zero for, and I've been saying this, stop the steal on the national level. We got one guy fighting his heart out, Donald Trump, and stop the steal of business on the local level is going on right here. So we're in the centers of the universe right now for liberty and freedom, if you ask me.
This is true. And so, of course, in Georgia, depending on what section, for example, in Atlanta, depending on what section of town you live in, just like in New York, if you live in Virginia Highlands, a more liberal, artsy community, then everyone has a mask on. And, they are so strict as to the protocols for going into places. It's ridiculous. And then you go to Buckhead, and it's like there's no COVID at all. They have not seen a COVID sign, or no one wears masks. I was at a bar the other night. I was the only person with a mask on in the entire bar. It was pretty crowded. It was a birthday party.
So you know what? I got some of my friends right next door in South Carolina there. They're telling me 2 things. They're saying that their airways are getting flooded with all these political commercials for the Georgia runoff, and South Carolina's a free state. People are being allowed to do what they want. Personal responsibility.
No question about it. I mean, we are being flooded with ads, and everyone is sick of it. And I don't know how it'll all end up, but I do think that they need to broaden the content of the ads. They're all about 2 issues. With Purdue and Loeffler, it's all about their stock trades. And with Warnock and Ossoff, it's about all their radical relationships. So, and that's all you see every night, just constant. It's maddening.
I feel like in my heart that if there's some fair arbiter out there that will really look at the election results in these 5 states, that Donald Trump will be president again. I don't know if that fair arbiter really exists. I hope the Supreme Court is the body that it was made to be, and they can kick it back to the constitutionally prescribed way to remedy something like this. But my faith in the system is waning in a lot of ways, I have to tell you, because it's just like, it seems like the same, a lot of the blue states where we've had crime, these ballot crimes, they're the same places that use the pandemic for a reason for universal ballots. And it's like, we're not that dumb. I
think the relationship between the election and the pandemic is striking. I think that, honestly, Donald Trump's position on masking had everything to do with his loss, his lack of empathy. I have to agree with his former campaign manager, Brad Parscale, that had he shown more empathy, he may have had a different result. I think it was his Achilles heel. And, we're still suffering through this COVID coronavirus, and hopefully this vaccine will come in and take it all away. But for now, we've got, 3-4 months more of this back and forth with, are we going to wear masks? Are we not going to wear masks? And, it's a shame. It really is. And Donald Trump did some good things as president. I was expecting to talk today about the Iran situation and the fact that.
I'm sorry about that, but we're
That's okay.
Breaking news here. I was actually supposed to be off today because the mayor's office and the sheriff here in New York agreed to us try to compromise. And then they canceled the meeting at the last minute, so that's why I'm in the place, and we don't know what's going to happen today.
That's
so I'm sorry
showbiz.
about that. Let's get you back on next week and do a little update on Iran.
Sounds great, John. I'd love it.
All right, Chandelle Summers, thank you very much for going with me on the fly. Also there, first time on the show, I forgot to ring the bell for you, but thank you.